Alright, so this is my aquaponics system. I tried a couple videos, but I tweaked some stuff because I just now set it up with the pump for the first time. As you can see, this right here is the water input. It's flowing probably at around 90 gallons per hour, somewhere around in there. Here's the pump. It's just a tiny little thing. It's about 6 watts. Runs at 120 gallons per hour max, but it loses power as you go further up. Let's see. Okay, so this is what you call a flood and drain system. The water will flood up to the top, and it's probably getting close to the top right now. So, okay, yeah, you can probably hear that. The water just kicked on under there. It's called a flood and drain system because it goes all the way very top, and there's a special little mechanism called a bell siphon that when it gets to the top, it sucks all the water out of the bucket and it drains back into here. And then once it drains all the way back into here, it stops siphoning and it allows the water to fill back to the very top. This serves a purpose of the water carrying the nutrients for the plant and then draining it back out to get oxygen to the plant's roots. It's a really efficient system for getting exactly what kind of nutrients you want, and it's a really good closed system because what you can do is you can put fish in here and the fish will poop and pee, and then the bacteria that I'm about to start culturing, it takes about a week to grow the bacteria, but I'll put some ammonium in here, and it'll cycle through up into here and back down to here, back up to here, and that'll just cycle it around, and bacteria will start to grow in this media. These are just pebbles. You want to make sure you get inert stuff, like these are lava rocks, about like $6 for a ton of them. This is about $6 as well for a ton of these. I need to put more in this bucket anyways. But this is where the bacteria is going to grow. I'll put ammonia in there and the bacteria will just show up. And the first kind of bacteria is going to change the ammonia into nitrite. That's not very nutritious to the plants, and it's not nutritious to the fish either. Ammonia is also toxic to the fish if it's in too high. I don't really know what the parts per million is, but if it's in too high of a quantity, it's going to poison your fish. So you want to not put fish in there until you have these bacteria showing up. So I'm going to manually feed ammonia into here, and in about a week or two, we'll have bacteria showing up that will grow right here and convert the ammonia into nitrite, and the nitrite will actually attract bacteria that can convert the nitrite into nitrate. And once you're converting into nitrate, that's not bad for the fish, and it's actually fertilizer for the plant. So the fish waste turns into fertilizer for the plant, which is going to go in here. So the water's going to raise up, it's going to fertilize the plant. And the water's going to fall, it's going to give air to the plant. Also at the same time, this stream down here stirs up the water and allows oxygen, gives more surface area for oxygen and gas exchange to the water. So it provides your fish with more oxygenated environment, and they're not being poisoned by their own waste. So it's a good closed system. All you have to do is feed the fish, and it'll grow plants wonderfully. All the roots are going to grow straight down, so it allows you to kind of compact your plants in more. I'll have to test and see how many plants I can stick into these small containers. But yeah, so now I'll show you the bell siphon. The bell siphon is the coolest part of this thing. This is just a little media guard to make sure no rocks get up there and clog up my thing. Actually, I think we're probably going to cut off. You can see we're down to a little bit of a trickle, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is the water line right here. So it's already drained down to the very bottom. And my bell siphon's not too good. I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit because it takes it a long time to cut off for some reason. I'll have to figure out the reason for that. I have a few ideas, but I'll have to mess with it. But once that cuts off, I'll show you that, and I'll show you that the water level starts rising back to the top. Because this pump is going 24/7. It doesn't stop pumping. Alright, so the bell siphon. Okay, we got a media guard right here that just keeps the little pebbles from blocking anything out. This is just a piece of little poster putty that's going to help me pull this out. If I can get it. Well, there we go. This part, as you can see, there are only openings on the bottom. It's completely closed up all the way through. So it just sits loosely on the bottom, and then this is the drain. So as soon as the water reaches this level at the top of this pipe right here, that's when the water starts draining. Now when you put this thing over the drain, it creates a siphon by the water. So as soon as the water starts pouring down the drain, it sucks up more water down the sides, and it actually also sucks up air from the bottom. But that's kind of what makes it tricky to get just right, because air will come up through that pipe as well to displace the water that's falling down, and also it's going to try and suck up this water through the siphon to try and displace the water that's falling down. What you want is enough water flow, so you have to have a high enough water flow here in order to get it to where it's enough water is being pulled down by gravity to create a seal in the pipe, and no more air is coming up through the pipe, so it has to just displace that water with more water, which creates the siphon effect. So for whatever reason, this thing takes an abnormally long time to cut off. I think the stars have to align, so I'm going to have to tweak that. But anyways, once this water down here cuts off, that means the air is going to kick back up into the pipe, it's going to kill the siphon, and then the water is going to have to flow back up to the top of the drain, which, use two hands so you can see that. So the drain's probably about the yay high. Right now the water's down here. So as soon as that cuts off, then it's just going to let the water raise naturally. And that's how a flood and drain aquaponics system works.